Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I'm your instructor, Richard Rost. Today's video is a continuation of yesterday's video. Yesterday, I showed you the beginner stuff, how to import data from one Access database into another, but we only did a single table. Today, we're going to get a little more complicated. We're going to import multiple tables and preserve their relationships and their auto numbers. This is where it gets tricky. Now, if you're only importing one table, all right, just customers, then that customer ID really isn't that important, right? Because Access uses that customer ID to make sure that you have a unique identifier for each customer. And as long as it's just one table, it doesn't matter if Frodo is ID 1 or ID 5. It doesn't matter unless you're bringing in two tables from one database into another. If that's the case over in database 1, right? Richard, me, I've got ID 1 and I've got my contacts down here, right? James is 2. He's got his contacts, right? There's James's contacts. 3 is Deanna. She's got hers. But in the new database that you're importing, Frodo is customer 1. He's got his contacts that are linked to customer ID 1, right? Gandalf is 2. Legolas is 3, and so on. So here's the problem. We can't just import this because now these guys are going to get assigned new customer IDs, and that's going to throw these off, okay? So what we have to do is, before we do the import, we have to assign a temporary ID to all the new customers, okay? Doesn't matter what it is, as long as it doesn't exist already in the customer table. So find whatever your largest customer ID is, maybe add 1,000 to it, whatever. In fact, it could just be a random number as long as it's unique, okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to change that ID in the foreign key of whatever our subtable is. In this case, we're going to do contacts. We do customers and contacts, but this doesn't matter whether it's customers and contacts, customers and orders, orders and details, products and whatever, okay? As long as you do it with the parent table and the subtable in this way. Now, there are a few steps. It's not easy, but I'm going to walk you through it step by step. All right, so here I've got 2 copies of my database. All right, here's database 1, and you can see customers here, right? Me, James. This is the standard Tech Help template, all right? And I'm just going to slide this over here like this, get it out of the way. We can close that. Okay, here's database 2. And I changed the data in here a little bit. We've got customers. We got Frodo, Gandalf, Legolas, and Peregrine. Notice they have customer IDs 1 through 4. Okay, I did that intentionally. And they're related to contacts with their ID, and they also have contacts 1 through 4, but that doesn't matter because this is a parent table that doesn't relate anywhere else. What we care about is this foreign key right here, okay? The ordered table, you could do the same thing, but again, you got to keep track of the order detail table. So every table, you have to do it with its subtable as well. If you got lots and lots of tables, this is going to take you a while, but fortunately, you should only have to do this once, okay? Once you do this and you're done importing your data, you're good. All right, so step 1, we're going to import the tables that we want. We're going to make them customer 2 and contact 2, right? So here's customer table and contact table. You can select them both, click, drag, drop. We're going to bring over structure and data, customer T2. We're going to delete them when we're done, so don't worry about the names. Contact T2. All right, so we got copies of those over here. Now we can change this. Oh, I forgot one very important thing first. Back up your data. Back everything up. Your old table, your new table, your whole hard drive, your mom's hard drive. Back everything up. Back up, people. Watch my backup video, okay? I don't want anybody complaining to me that you did this and it messed everything up and now you lost data. No, back everything up. All right, so now we'll just work with this database. We can put database 2 aside. Got our data in here. Okay. All right, we need to add a temporary ID to this table, okay? Because we're going to have to reassign this person. So come into design view. Go on to the bottom here. We're going to add a temp ID. That'll be a number of type long integer. I'm just going to bring it up top so it's easier to keep track of it. Oop, where'd you go? Come here. Click. Drag it up. Put it right under customer ID. All right. Save that. Take a peek at it. Now we want to put a number in here, okay, that is going to uniquely identify this guy. It doesn't matter what. You could even just add to the customer ID. You want to make it something that's not in the customer table though. So find out whatever your largest ID is over here. In this case, it's 29. All right. So I'll just add 1,000 to it. Because later on, these are going to come together. So you want to make sure that these aren't in the customer ID list as well. Now, if you only got 4 records, yeah, you could just type these in. But I'll use a little update query. We'll pretend we've got thousands of records in here, right? So we'll go create, query design. We'll make an update query. What are we updating? We're in customer T2. We are updating the temp ID. What are we updating it to? We're going to make it customer ID plus 1,000, just like that. And if you don't know how to do an update query, go watch this video. All right, now I can run this. Now I don't see any messages because I have warnings turned off. But if I go look at my data now, you'll see there, I've got values there. That's my temp ID. Okay? All right, close this. We don't need this query anymore. Now what I want to do is in the contact table, that's my foreign key, but it's pointing to customer T2. So I'm going to change that to the new temp ID. So when I import these into the other contact table, there's no conflicts with the existing customer ID. See? All right, so we got to change that. So we're going to make another update query. Create, query design, make it an update query. Now this time I'm going to bring in my contact T2, all right? And I want to change my customer ID, but the data is in the other table. The data is in my customer table, right? It's this guy. So I'm going to change the customer ID here. All right, notice we're related to the customer ID over here. That's fine. We're going to update it to whatever that temp ID is. Okay, temp ID. And make sure it doesn't do that. See what it did there? It put quotes around it. We don't want quotes. We want the field temp ID. Like that. The brackets. Here, I'll zoom in so you can see it. Shift F2, right? Brackets. Okay, it's going to change that customer ID, which is the foreign key in the subtable, in the child table, to that temp ID that we just made. Okay? Oh, someone's beaming in. Hold on a second. Energize. Okay, run it. Again, nothing appears to happen, but take a look at your data in the contact key and look at that. Now, the foreign key is changed to that temp ID. So we're good. So now, if I were to import these contacts into the other table, there would be no conflicts because we have a new customer ID. We're not done, though. We got to keep going, all right? We're about halfway there. All right, so close this one. We don't need this one anymore either. All right. Now, I'm almost ready to bring these records into my main customer table, but I need a place to hold that temp ID for a minute, right? So we're going to have to add it to this table too. So design view and add the temp ID here. And nope, not AutoNumber. That's going to be a number of type long integer because we're assigning it. Save it. Again, I'm going to slide it up top just to keep track of it right there. Save it. Close it. These should all be blank right now. That's fine. Leave them alone. Okay. All right, next I'm going to delete the auto numbers from my import tables because at this point I don't need them and it just makes the append query easier. So we're just going to delete this because we don't need this anymore, right? We've got that temp ID that's holding the relationship. So delete the customer ID from customer T2. Okay, you sure you want to delete the primary key? Yeah. So it looks like this now, right? We got our temp ID. We're good. And then our contact T2, we can get rid of this. Because we don't need it. It's not related anywhere to any other tables, right? Delete. Yes, yes. Okay. Now, I'm ready to copy that data over with an append query, with 2 append queries, into the original tables. And if you've never done an append query before, go watch this video. All right, so we'll do the customer table first. Create, query design. We're going to make an append query. We're appending into customer T. Hit OK. What are we putting into customer T? The data from customer T2. Okay. Bring down the star, which I can because I deleted the customer ID. See, that's why I wanted to delete it, so I don't have to bring all the other fields down. Run it. Nothing appears to happen. Again, I have my warnings turned off. We're going to close that. Not maximize it. Close it. Save changes. No. Take a look at your customer table now. Scroll down to the bottom. Look at that. There's our 4 new records. They were assigned new auto numbers. That's fine. There's the temp ID that we're going to use in a second to put these new auto numbers in the contacts. Okay, see where I'm going with this? All right, hold on. We're going to get there. Hold on. Let's do the same thing with the contact table. All right, create, query design, append into what table? We're appending into contact T. Hit OK. What records? Contact 2T. Bring down the star. Run it. Everything should be good. Close it. Close it. Don't save it. Take a look at your contacts. Scroll down and where are you? There they are. Okay. Now, the next step is to convert those into the customer IDs from this table. Okay? We got to set it to 30, 31, 32, 33, and then get rid of the temp ID. So, let's delete the customer T2. We don't need it anymore. Goodbye. So we're not being confused by having all these tables, right? Delete that one too. Goodbye. All the data we need now is in these two tables. All right, now it's time for another update query to change that customer ID back to a normal auto number. All right, well, it's a foreign key, so it's a long integer, but we're changing it to the auto number that the customer was assigned. Make sense? All right, again, update query. Create, query design. We're going to bring in the contact table and the customer table, but it joined them by customer ID. That's not what I want. Because if you look at the table, right, I want to join it by this temp ID right now. Okay, join it to the temp ID so we know who's who. So delete that relationship and join this customer ID to the temp ID over here, right? Click, drag, drop on the temp ID. So now if I look at these contacts, right, here's contact and customer and first name. If I take a peek at it, just take a look at the data. There we go. That's what I want. It's joined by this. Okay? All right, so get rid of this stuff. That's the correct join. All right, now we're going to change this to an update query. We're going to update this foreign key. We're going to set it equal to this new customer ID over here. Okay? Now we can't just type in customer ID because there's two tables. So we have to type in customer T dot customer ID. Okay? All right, run it. Again, nothing appears to happen. Close it down, shut it, close it. Save changes, no. Now let's take a look at our contacts. Scroll to the bottom. Look at that. There's those four contacts, right? The Hobbits and Legolas and them, right? And look at their customer ID is now lined up with this customer ID, right? 30 through 33, see? Because we swapped out that ID. And now you can delete that temporary ID because we don't need it anymore. Come in here, delete this, and you have now imported your tables. Go to the customer form, go to the customer list, scroll down. There's your hobbits. All right, Frodo, Peregrine, Gandalf, and Legolas. They're not hobbits, but you know what I mean. All right, open up Gandalf, go to contacts, and there's his contact. Look at that. See, you did it. And yes, you may have to watch this video 2 or 3 times and take some notes, okay? Because there was like 10 steps there, but that's what you got to do. In a nutshell, you have to create a substitute ID, bring in those records so you maintain the relationship without stepping on the IDs that are already in the other table, right? And then once you've got those in there, flip that ID back out again. Get rid of your temp ID and assign it to the new customer ID that was assigned to it. Do the same thing with orders. Make sure you do order details too, right? And that's basically it. I wish there was an easier method to do this. I can't think of one. I thought about maybe using something like JSON or even XML because you can export multiple tables there and preserve the relationships, but that gets even trickier with the different data types. And this is the easiest way I found to do this. Could this be automated with some VBA? Sure. It'd be a project and a half. If you guys really want to see it, let me know, and I'll cover it in a developer lesson. It won't be a tech help video, and it'll be 2 hours long, but I'll do it in developer class. This is generally something that people don't have to do more than once. Now, this was something that when Deborah sent me her info, and she was just, she's the woman from the original video. I'm like, it's just the customer information? She's like, yeah. Okay, all right. And I'm like, we'll make a video on that. And I just knew it would be more than that. And of course, a couple days later, she's like, yeah, I got to bring in other stuff too. Okay, yep, okay. So I knew I was going to need to make a second video. So here's the second video. Deborah, I hope this helps you. Again, watch the video a couple times if you have to. That's the benefit of a video, is you can watch as many times as you want. Make some notes. And if you have any problems or questions, post them in the forum, and my awesome guys will try to help you. All right, so if you want to learn more about this stuff, there's two main topics that really will help you understand this stuff better. First is these action queries, and I've got 5 classes that cover the different action queries in Access. Update, append, delete, make table, and all the other weird ones too. All right, I got lots of classes, lots of videos on these action queries. That's very important for doing this kind of stuff. And the second thing is my relationship seminar, okay? Understanding relationships between different tables, how they work, how they're set up, IDs, keys, foreign keys, primary keys, all that stuff, joins. That's all covered in the seminar. There's tons of stuff covered. It's about 4 hours long, all the different kinds of relationships you can possibly think of. If you'd like more information on that, you'll find links down below. That is going to be your tech help video for today. I hope you learned something. I hope you watch the video again so you understand it. This took me a while to figure out the first time too. I had to do this for a client, like 20 years ago. And he had like 30 tables to import. They merged like 4 offices together, and it was a lot of work. It took me a weekend. But once I get the hang of it, it became like second nature. But yeah, it's not easy, but that's how you do it. And if anyone has a better solution, I want to hear about it. Post something in the comments down below. But live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and post any comments you may have below. I do try to read and answer all of them as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. Click the bell icon and select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Want to learn more? Click the Show More link below the video to find additional resources and links. YouTube does a pretty good job of hiding it. It's right down there. See this part of the description here, right? The name, the video's up here. There's a little Show More down there, right down the bottom. It's kind of hard to find. But once you click on that, you'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. And YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted like they used to do. But if you'd like to get an email every time I post a new video, click on the link to join my mailing list. And you can pick how frequently to get emails from me, either as they happen, daily, weekly, or monthly. Now, if you'd like to become a paid member of my channel and receive all kinds of awesome perks, click on the Join button. You'll see a list of all the different membership levels that are available, each with its own special perks, including my extended cut videos, access to my code vault, lots of VBA source code in there, template downloads, and lots more. I'll talk more about these perks at the end of the video. Even if you don't want to commit to becoming a paid member and you'd like to help support my work, please feel free to click on the tip jar link. Your patronage is greatly appreciated and will help keep these free videos coming. I got some puppies to feed. But don't worry, no matter what, these free tech help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more, and they'll always be free. Now, if you really want to learn Access and you haven't tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, and more. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? The whole thing, free, 4 hours. Go watch it. And okay, a lot of you have told me that you don't have time to sit through a 4-hour course. So I do now have a quicker, Microsoft Access for Beginners video that covers all the basics faster in about 30 minutes. And no, I didn't just put the video on fast forward, but I'll put a link to this down below as well. Now, if you like level 1, level 2 is just $1. That's it, $1. And that's another whole 90-minute course. Level 2 is also free for paid members of any level, including supporters. So if you're a member, go watch level 2. It's free. Okay, want to get your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my Tech Help page and send me your question there. Members get priority, of course. While I do try to read and respond to all of the comments posted below in the comments section, I only have time to go through them briefly a couple of times a month, and sometimes I get thousands of them. So send me your question here on the Tech Help page, and you'll have a better chance of getting it answered. And while you're on my website, be sure to stop by my Access forum. We've got lots of lively conversations about Microsoft Access and other topics. I have a fantastic group of moderators who help me answer questions. Shout out to Alex, Kevin, Scott, Adam, John, Dan, Juan, and everybody else who helps out on the site. I appreciate everything you do. I couldn't do it without you. Be sure to follow my blog, find me on Twitter, and of course on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on Facebook too, but I don't like Facebook. Don't get me started. Now, let's talk more about those member perks if you do decide to join as a paid member. There are different levels: Silver, Gold, Platinum, and Diamond. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut Tech Help videos, one free beginner class every month, and some other perks. Gold members get all the previous perks, plus access to download the sample databases that I build in my Tech Help videos, plus access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions that I use, the code that I build in most of the videos. You'll also get higher priority if you do submit any Tech Help questions. Now, answers are never guaranteed, but you do go higher in the list for me to read them. And if I like your question, you got a good chance of it being answered. You'll also get one free expert level class each month after you've finished the beginner series. Platinum members get all the previous perks plus even higher priority for Tech Help questions. You get access to all of my full beginner level courses for every subject. And I cover lots of different subjects like Word, Excel, VBA, ASP, lots of different stuff, not just Access. These are the full-length courses found on my website. You get all the beginner ones. In addition, once you finish the expert classes, you get one free developer class per month. So lots of training. And finally, you can also become a Diamond sponsor. You'll have your name or your company name listed on a sponsors page that will be shown on each video as long as you're a sponsor. You'll get a shout out in the video and a link to your website or product in the text below the video and on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you again soon.